have to play. All right, so we got 3, 2, 1. Damn, dude, we're like live to the world now. You're gonna.
We live?
We're live here, live there, the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen,
We are back.
yeah,
Another week.
the heel. I didn't know what to call this. The heel show, heel. You know, like the bad guy. It's not really like
Heel
bad
show?
guys. I was like
We're
sports
talking about,
heels.
like, sports heels.
Yeah,
It's
Kinda.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad. I think it's not a bad name.
right. It's not
Because
because you play the heel, right?
Heels.
And
Yeah.
then the whole.
We're talking about some of the black sheep of the in the sports world,
Yeah, dude.
and
It's been-
how
okay.
It's affecting things.
I was sitting there and I was thinking about this, and we were messaging this
Yeah,
morning
we're talking about it.
about topics for today and some of the things going on, and we're going to talk about. And I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, it feels like it's been 3 weeks
In the sports world,
since last Monday.
it does.
I'm just
lot
like,
happened.
holy crap! Because we're going to hit the Nike thing, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
the Nike thing was, I think, was Tuesday. I think
Feels
it was.
like it.
I think it was hitting while you guys were on Tuesday, like that time.
No,
like
it was hitting the. Yeah, I think maybe you're. I want to say it hit Monday. It hit Monday because I remember that morning. I thought, I wish that we had known about that before the
Okay,
podcast.
so maybe that's because I was thinking the same thing.
Tuesday
I
we
was
were going
like,
to talk
yeah.
about it. It's a totally different type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, it was so great to hit right then.
Man,
But
it
it's
would've
okay.
been
It's still pretty kind of
perfect.
fresh.
Which actually
People
I think
still
is
talking about it.
well. This is it. So the initial knee-jerk reaction is over now.
Yes.
So that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So now it isn't just this just hit and here's all these raw opinions with no data, with no anything, with nothing. Does that make sense?
Right.
So it's kind of there. Did you see the commercial yet? Did you watch it?
I mean, I've seen not because I saw it live because I didn't even know if it aired. That's what I was
Yeah,
asking you
that's- yeah.
earlier. I just seen people show it saying this is what's coming, so they kind of show the commercial anyway.
okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think some
Yeah.
of the whatever saw on the news, spot broadcasts, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've seen it. I've seen it.
The commercial itself, if you remove all of the controversy, it's a good commercial.
Look, it's a great commercial.
I mean,
If you remove Kaepernick, it's a great commercial.
yeah.
I love what they did with the commercial. I hate the person that they used.
And that's so. It's just. This is me. I still don't have all the words for it. Does that make sense? I bounced this off. I told you this. I bounced this off of a ton of people. Base level, I don't like them using Kaepernick. To me, it doesn't fit the mission. It doesn't fit their statement. I feel pretty confident. I know what they're trying to say, and Kaepernick doesn't fit that. What he did or his whatever, it doesn't fit it. It's asking. They're trying to poke a fucking bear. They're trying to say, that's what I feel like. I feel like it was clickbait. I feel like it was all these things that I kind of posted and shared earlier. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really know how to perfectly formulate the my opinion on it, because Nike has every right to do it. Anything wrong with it. If they're trying to get that clickbait style thing, they did a great job. Great, congratulations, all those things. But Nike's had some great ad campaigns over since the mid '80s. I guess is really when it kind of hit the
Jordan,
big.
really.
Yeah,
Jordan I think maybe Jordan was their. Is that their first big one?
Well, first like monstrous one. Yeah, I mean, but even still today, I mean, nothing can touch. Nothing touches what Jordans were, man.
Yeah,
everything that they
Jordan's
were.
still Jordan.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
fuck. It's just boom. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so I'll say this: data. Everybody blasts that they lost 2.8%, or roughly 3% on the market. Okay, being fair, every other major shoe company lost in that range on the market in that same week. Right? We know that to be true.
So what does that mean?
So that means whatever the hell everybody took a hit in the week,
Yeah.
pretty equally.
Yeah.
So the ad had nothing to do with that. That'd be pretty hard to correlate that, because if the ad had something to do with it, Puma would have gone up, Adidas would have gone up, while Nike went down. There would have been some other
They would have
measure.
stayed the same. While they
Right.
went.
Something measurable
Right.
would have gone on. The fact that didn't happen, you got to say, okay, that didn't have anything to do with their deal on the
What
market.
occurred.
Right.
Did all the markets? But they had a pretty significant share in their market share, like the value of their shares, right? I don't think the other companies had that. Kind
Right.
Of drop
They
in
didn't
value
have
of
that
shares.
kind of a drop, so I'm just using sort of
So
proportionate
I think there
ratios.
was some effect. I
Yeah.
think there was a negative effect,
Yeah.
at least on the shareholders' point of view.
I can agree with that. How do you measure that's really hard.
Right.
That's why I'm just saying, if everybody lost whatever 2 to 3.5%, great,
Right.
then that's a pretty equivalent
Mm-hmm.
drop for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, less people, less drop, but still same percentage. So it's
Mhm.
close. It's close. Nike did have just over a 30% jump on online sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's something that the other
Mhm.
companies didn't experience.
Right.
Probably a knee-jerk reaction to people who support the Kaepernick side of the ad campaign. It's the only thing I can come up
You
with.
mean knee-jerk reaction to people who don't support?
No, who do support them using Kaepernick on the deal.
They're just
They're
checking
going
out.
they're going online and
buying
buying.
shoes
Right.
as a result.
Right. Well, shoes, shirts, whatever. You know, apparel.
Gear.
Yeah,
Okay,
gear.
Nike gear.
And then the other thing it's hard to tell is the other companies didn't share that, but not a lot of other companies are into like Little League fall ball just started pretty much across the country. That's going to spike something.
Mm-hmm.
So online Dick's Sporting Goods did have an increase.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're not a shoe company or a sporting goods. Like Nike or Adidas or whatever. They're
Mhm.
not a specific brand, but their online sales of all their baseball gear went up. It was about 28%, I think is
Mhm.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would Nike go up 30%?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Is it
maybe
a correlation?
maybe it's a sports deal. It's just that time of season.
What is football starting up, baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
it could be something like that, and more people go online than anything else now. I mean, more and more. So I don't know how to measure that data, but
Mhm.
that data's out there, and so draw your conclusion on that. I think financially we won't find out for about a month what
Nike's
this was.
not going to lose money.
No.
Like I'm very confident in saying Nike will not lose a penny
Right.
due to this, due to
Right.
anything, any negative result from it. I think that Nike, and it was pointed out to me by somebody, Nike's very smart. They've been doing this a long time. They have very smart people that work for them.
Yes.
So they for sure knew there would be a negative backlash
Mm-hmm.
when they did this. They were not ignorant of
Right.
the fact that there was a segment of the population that was going to be very upset with them for this ad campaign.
Right.
They calculated that into what they projected, and I feel safe in saying their calculations are probably accurate.
Yes.
They're probably meeting what they expected. This is what they expected to happen.
Take the There's some we'll talk about some of the memes later. Some of them were amazing.
Oh, price! They're still coming.
They just keep
This will
coming
be
every
one
day.
of those memes that goes for a while.
Oh yeah, it'll
'Cause
be going
it's
around.
a gift that keeps
Yeah.
on giving on these memes.
Oh yeah. And then like the Jordan crying, how everybody shoves that into memes
Yes.
everywhere. This is going to be
I think so. I think it has that potential.
yeah, that direction.
Yeah.
But you have to think of this. Every time somebody does one of those memes, what does somebody think?
Nike.
Nike.
Mm-hmm.
What's the number one goal in marketing? To get people to
To-
subconsciously think of your brand.
So that's what they're saying. This was the whole point of this marketing campaign, was to get people thinking and talking about Nike.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I still think it's a little bit of a it's a risky marketing strategy because you're really
Yeah.
plotting into that point where you're alienating people
Yes.
with your strategy. Now, does it work? I really don't know if it's going to work. When I say they're not going to lose money, Nike will never lose money.
Yeah.
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But will this achieve what they wanted to achieve? Now, that's a whole nother story. Will they see that it's not really, are people going to, because I guess Kaepernick's going to have his own line of shoe come out, from what I understand.
I heard
Or
that. I
online
kind of read
gear.
it.
And I'm like, really? Like, you think this guy can sell a shoe?
That's gonna flop.
Because he's not a winner.
No, he's not a winner.
And that's what sells shoes is,
Yeah.
is people like Jordan and Harden and winners,
Yes.
guys who win games.
Yes.
Guys who are controversial don't sell shoes. That's not going to work.
No.
So if that part of it, that's what I read, that he's got his own line of clothing or something. I thought it was shoe, but maybe
I
I'm
thought
wrong.
it was shoe too, and I could be wrong. But some kind of merchandising
Something.
is coming out.
I don't think that
specific
will
to him.
sell. I think
No.
that'll go away.
Yeah.
I think the Kaepernick side of this ad campaign will dissipate. Now, I know they gave him a 10-year contract. It's something when I read, which I'm still blown away. I'm like, really, 10 years? This guy hasn't had a meaningful snap in 3 years.
3 years, roughly. Yeah.
It's been 2 years since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
And he's never going to have another meaningful snap in the league.
Right.
Ever again. So you're banking on this guy. I don't, that part of the strategy I don't understand. But again, I don't have a degree or master's degree in marketing. I'm just a simple cop. So what do I know?
And this is me. Now, this is total just opinion. I don't, even before all this controversy, I don't like his tone. I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like his charisma.
Ronnie.
What?
It's a pretty lame podcast without that handsome Hispanic dude.
See, I'm gonna Dog, I'm gonna bleed my own blood now with this whole thing. Yeah. Holy cow, biting my tongue. See,
you are. It's coming.
See? He's
Sorry,
opening
I didn't mean to
doors.
interrupt you. I just
He's
saw
opening
that.
doors.
I just saw
Damn
that.
it. But you know, so my thing, I don't like his charisma. I don't like his speech pattern. I don't like his tones. I don't like any of those things for being a spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a million other people that are far better spokespeople than what he is. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what do I know? I'm not Nike, right? I don't get paid millions of dollars a year to be in a marketing campaign.
Yeah, but those guys are wrong. Those guys are wrong sometimes too. They're not 100% accurate. And sometimes they overguess or they try to be too smart. And this could be a situation where they try to get too smart and too cute with their marketing campaign. And it's actually been kind of a little bit of a bad week because, you know, Serena Williams was also part of that 30-year celebration of Just Do It. And then she had a disaster of a finals appearance where she melted down.
I saw all of that live.
We were watching it.
I
saw the clips of it afterwards. She had a meltdown.
Yeah.
She literally had a meltdown. Why she had a meltdown is because she couldn't beat this girl, and this girl's beaten her before. She had a meltdown. Like, there's no way to put it any other way, I think.
I don't want to call it a meltdown. I want to call it a temper tantrum.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a temper tantrum.
She had one, and people are like, oh, well, because she's in her mid-30s, and because of this stuff, she's on her decline, blah, blah, all that kind of. No. 2009. Remember? She's going to take the ball and shove it down her fucking throat to the line judge.
Yes, I do remember that. You're right. I forgot about that.
50-something-year-old Asian lady side judge.
I forgot about that.
Oh, then there was 2011.
Yeah.
Where she threatened the life of a judge.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. I'll have to pull the event up. 2011, right? And then now this is a number of years, but we're here again.
Right.
Oh, shocking. We're here again. She's throwing a temper tantrum. This Osaka, see you like this? That's why I did that today.
Oh, okay, good.
So
nice.
I was
see
a little,
that. That's pretty smart.
Little subliminal message. I was trying to see what I couldn't. It's like just out of view.
Appreciate it, Sober Doper.
Okay.
He's giving some love.
Yeah, good. All right. So the deal was this: is Osaka was kicking her ass.
Yeah.
Handily.
Yeah.
I mean, she won 6-2
6-2,
the first
right?
one, and it really
which is an ass kicking.
6-2
For those who
was
don't
closer.
know tennis,
that's an ass kicking.
Yeah.
Because you broke twice.
Mm-hmm.
You broke serve twice. You're doing good.
Yeah.
You spanked them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she was on that direction in the second one. It was probably
it was a little closer. The second set,
it looked like it would have been without all the mess. 6-3, 6-4 would have been the second one. Mm-hmm. It was closer, but she was still dominating the whole thing. Right. This is what I don't like. She tried to come out after the fact, and her publicist, and she did, and her coach, and everybody came out and said, okay, let's not do this. Let's not take this away from Osaka. This is her moment. Let's not damage her moment. Let's not do these things. I'm like, no. You were cheating on the court, right? And she was threatening or verbal reprimanding, being whatever, verbally accosting, whatever term you want to put it, to multiple judges, taking multiple time away from this player who's kicking her ass, which breaks rhythm, which breaks the thing. You know, it does a lot of things, right?
Strategy.
There's no timeout in fucking tennis like that. Right. You see what I'm saying?
There's a little bit of a strategy in that.
And she was lying the whole time. Serena was lying the whole time.
Well,
I would never do it.
With the judge, with her coach.
The signals.
Yeah.
Lying.
Well, what was funny, she said, no, I didn't do that. And then her coach said, yeah, I was trying to coach.
And then they show video clips of him doing the
hand signals.
The hand signals.
And he was like, yeah, I was trying to. He goes, but I don't think she saw me. I was like, okay. You just told everybody she's lying. You know?
Right.
That was
like,
hilarious.
oh, shit. And this was, I was talking to Steph earlier about it, and I'm like, you know what? The ends doesn't justify the means. You don't get to come out later and say sorry for taking things away from other people, right?
Yeah.
Large example of that, Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong lied and cheated and everybody's doing it, so you can't do the everybody's doing it thing. Mm-hmm. He lied and cheated for years, raised countless of millions of dollars for cancer research, right? And still had it all taken away because he lied like a chump.
And the thing about, I don't fault him for cheating.
Yeah.
In that sport.
Right.
And normally I would, but that sport was dirty all from the first to the last. I fault him for how he treated people who told the truth.
Exactly.
The lawsuits and the accusations against those people. Like, he tried to destroy their lives.
Yeah.
And they were being honest, you know. And I that part's the one part I can't let go. I can let go of the cheating.
Oh, I agree 100%. Yeah.
But back to Serena. So.
Well, and that's what I was trying to do is mirror that.
Yeah.
And to come back and say, Lance was trying to destroy the people that were trying to be honest about the situation. Serena's attacking and potentially trying to harm people's careers. You're only doing this because I'm a woman. You're only doing it.
Yeah, that
I'm like, whoa. Those types of things, you got to be careful when you say that stuff.
When that came out, I was like, first of all, well, so I thought about that a little while. My first thought was, what are you talking about? You're playing another woman.
Right.
But then I go, okay, she's comparing what men can get away with in a match versus what women can get away with in a match.
Right.
I think is what she meant. But I guess was it the ITA, the International Tennis Association? Is that what I believe it?
Yes.
I think it is.
I'm saying yes.
They came out today saying, I think the name of the judge is Jorge Ramos, I believe. But anyway,
I think, yeah.
They're saying that they backed him 100%, saying he was professional, courteous the entire time. He was well within his rights and within the rules to every penalty that was assessed. And it all started with the coaching one, I believe. They got a warning for coaching from the stands.
Either the racket or the coaching was first. I'm not sure.
I think the coaching was, because that immediately put her, because the racket's the one that cost her a point, if I remember correctly. And you watched it, so I was going off ESPN highlights.
Yeah. The coaching and the racket were close.
But the point was there was a build-up.
Yes.
There was multiple infractions.
3.
Now,
3.
I don't know if I ever told you this. I actually played tennis my whole life.
Yeah.
I was actually number 1 seed my junior, senior in high school. I was very much I still love tennis. I haven't picked up a racket in years, but I still love tennis. And so I grew up in the era of Andre Agassi. Even it's like right around Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe were still there.
Yvonne Lindell and all those.
Yes, Yvonne Lindell, Stefan Alberg, Andre. No, Bjorn Borg. Is it Bjorn Borg? No, I'm messing that name up.
I can't remember his first name. Yes.
Bjorn Becker.
Becker. Yeah.
He was big. I was living in Germany. He was a big German star. So anyway, that was my era, right? And but John McEnroe. All right. Jimmy Connors. These are two of they threw a fit on the court all the time.
Yes.
John McEnroe was legendary for what he would do. Yeah. Now, but I don't ever recall him threatening the life of an ump or
no.
Or he said a lot of stuff like, "You got to be kidding me." That was that was before we had all the computer stuff. He said a lot of stuff, and he definitely threw some tension. So maybe she's comparing herself to that and saying they got away with a lot more. Because I don't know current guys who really act out to that degree.
Not many
in the men's circuit.
Yeah, not many.
Not today. Like it's just you don't see those kinds of players really in the men's circuit today. That's a little older throwback, right?
Well, the rules have changed because it used to. I hate to say it was allowed. It just there weren't rules against it back then. Now there's rules against that behavior.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that there was. I just thought they just kind of because he's John McEnroe. They're like, it's good for ratings. Let him go.
Probably. There's a little
Jimmy
truth
Connors,
to that. Yeah.
It's good for ratings. Let him go. It's funny. Chrissy Everett really defended. She really defended. What's her name? Our girl.
Serena.
Yeah, Serena.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did. I was watching.
And
she didn't defend that necessarily her behavior, but she was defending the fact that she thought she was over penalized.
Okay.
They went too far with her. They should have given her more.
That's a fair, debatable opinion. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I'll just say that the judge followed the rules. Mm-hmm. Was he a little strict on them? You could argue that.
Maybe.
You could argue that. You could also argue she should have been docked more points for continuing to do this long after.
And why I say it was a strategy.
Yeah.
Because I've used it, not maybe like that, but I remember playing. If I was losing, I would try to do things to throw off my opponent's rhythm.
Yeah.
I would take longer between breaks. I would say, "Hold on," I would do little things. Hey, give me a second. My shoe's untied.
Yeah.
I'd make sure my shoe got untied every now and then. I would do what I could to break their rhythm,
right?
Especially when they're serving, because the serving is so huge. And I remember doing stuff like that all the time. So that's why when I'm saying she's doing it, they're no different. They're like, I need to break this girl's rhythm, and plus you're irritated and angry, you're losing anyway.
You want to calm yourself down at some level.
Yeah, so you're trying to do anything you can to disrupt her rhythm, get your head back in the right spot, and then try to get that momentum going for yourself. So that's why I say, I guess we're talking about Nike, right? So I feel like Nike kind of had I'm going to say this. I think they had a bad week. I don't know if it's necessarily reflected in the numbers. Maybe it is. Some argue that it is. I think they had a bad week. Now, I think what we saw with the Kaepernick thing, because I kind of want to come back to this a little bit, is we saw people responding. I was actually surprised at how many people responded to the outrage culture. In other words, people throwing and burning their Nikes. Right? I thought that was kind of stupid. I wasn't into that. I'm like, that's dumb. And so you saw people reacting to it and really kind of mocking people doing that, right? And I was actually surprised at how many people were mocking people doing that because of who it is. Kaepernick is, not very well liked. But I personally, I was pretty upset. I posted about it. Mm-hmm. I was upset for different reasons, and I made it real clear. I was like, I'm not boycotting Nike. I'm not. I don't do boycotts anyway. I think they're stupid.
Silly.
But they're ridiculous. But and I think it's un-American, honestly, to boycott stuff. But it's not boycotting. I literally. And because my feelings of Kaepernick. I've talked about him multiple times. And my response. My response is he turns my stomach. Yeah. Because of the things he said about police officers, which are not true.
Right.
And it's very upsetting. For me, as a police officer and for my fellow police officers, it's extremely upsetting that this guy is allowed to tar all of us. Mm-hmm. And that it has stuck as much as it has over the last couple of years. He's not the only one.
No.
He came midway through all this cop hate wave that we've been dealing with. But he's been a big one, and it really I can't wear my gear. Like I can't put my Nike shoes on. I can't. Nike shoes, the only thing I really like from them, but I love like my Nike Max Airs, and I love those shoes. Like you know me, I wear them all the freaking time. I can't wear them anymore. Like I have to go buy Vans. When I get some free time this week, I got to up my Vans game. And I had to double check to make sure Nike didn't own Vans. I was like, okay, they don't own Vans. They own Converse. They don't own Vans.
What you just said right there.
Yeah.
I want to hit that. Okay,
well, because that was important. And it's not because, everybody, like I'm not going to tell my girlfriend or my son. My son I bought him LeBrons. He loves those shoes. I'm going to tell him he can't wear them. That's his choice to wear those shoes. I can't wear it because I feel like a hypocrite. And I can't look at that swoosh and not think about, well, you guys put the ability to maybe make money. And I'll say this, too. I think they were targeting minorities with this campaign. And I think that's where their target was, to pull more money away from minorities.
Yeah.
And let's just let that sink in for a minute, what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
So they're targeting minorities with this campaign of somebody who hates cops.
Yes.
So they're propagating a problem. They're propagating, trying to profit off, in a way, they're propagating and trying to profit off a divide that exists in our community, whether it's legitimate or not, that we're trying to heal. Right. And they're making it harder and making it more difficult for us.
They're pouring salt in the wound.
Yes, they are. And that, I think, is despicable that they're trying to make money that way. That's why when I see people, that's just outrage. For me, it's not outrage culture. This is a problem. This is really a slap in the face to police officers. It's in my opinion, it's a huge, and I don't even think it's a slap in the face to veterans.
No,
because this whole kneeling thing that was about to Kaepernick had nothing to do with veterans.
Right,
it never did.
Right,
never. It's people use the veterans to attack it, which I thought was wrong. Because I don't think
it went from police to disrespecting the flag of nation.
That you're disrespecting veterans who died for the flag.
Right.
And that's not what was intended.
Right.
And we're dishonest and we're disingenuous if we try to say that.
Right.
It was intended as a slap in the face to police officers.
Yes.
To call police officers racist and targeting minorities. And they said killing innocent people, killing innocent minorities, murdering them, and being allowed to being given administrative leave was his and being given vacation time or something was his comment.
I think it was vacation time or pay time off or something.
Pay time off.
Yeah.
That's what this was about. So when Nike does this, that's what connects it for me, and that's why as a police officer, I just can't wear it till Kaepernick's gone and they stop with this thing. And there's other brands, because if people associated with it, I wouldn't wear it till they stop being associated. I'm not going to name them right now because they're local, but I wouldn't wear it till that person was basically not associated with them anymore. And I'm the same thing with Nike. I can't wear it. I just can't do it. And this is a personal decision. Like I just can't.
And that's totally fine. And I mean, by definition, it would be a boycott. You're just not going to call for a boycott. You're just saying, me personally, I'm not doing it.
I can't wear it.
And my whole thing is kind of what you said, is that you have to look at all the companies that Nike owns, all the companies they're associated with, all the I'm like, I don't have fucking time for that shit. One. Two, I'm like, you're going to support or boycott Nike because of some guy they put as their face, when they have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of employees globally working in sweatshops for less than 20 cents an hour in some of the worst horrid conditions you could ever possibly.
Right?
So we're good with that. We're cool with that. But because Kaepernick is there, now that's the straw that's going to break the camel's back.
That's true.
And I'm just kind of like, the shit.
Outrage culture. That's where people are just participating in outrage culture. I have a reason to be outraged. I found one. I found a cause to be angry about.
Let me get on my soapbox and scream and yell.
That's what I think. I think that's what a lot of people are responding to is people who are angry because they have a chance to be angry about something, right? I feel like personally, just for me, it was just personally, I can't.
This is a real question, and because we can guess, but what do you really think the reason is behind? Kaepernick, of all the people,
I think this is I've thought about it for a week.
Yeah,
read up on it, and listened to a lot of really smart people who are marketing. That's their job. That's what they do. Marketing analysts, whatever. And this is a target at minorities. They felt they would reach out more to minorities and boost sales among minorities buying shoes. Typically, minorities spend more money on their shoes than whites.
Yeah.
So they're not losing anything really with whites. But they had a chance to bump their sales with minorities.
The shoe sales. Yeah.
Shoe sales. And that's kind of what the target. That's what a lot of smart people say, and it makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
That's what the target is, which makes it even more diabolical and devious to me. Like it just the whole thought of that you're profiting off of racial. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm saying? Like you're profiting off of that negative energy, but that we're trying to heal in our country. Oh, well, let's profit off of it. It's capitalism at its worst.
You can't. Every right to.
They have 100% every right to.
It goes in. It's by definition. This is going to piss a lot of people off. That's racial profiling.
Well, but companies do that all the time.
But that's racial profiling.
They target only if police and our
government
security infrastructure does it. Marketing companies do it, and it's accepted. It's not like someone would look at a marketing strategy saying, "Well, we know we can market to this group with these commercials, and we'll make this much of a bump in our sales. We market to this group with this commercials." Like if you watch commercials, it's freaking obvious.
Oh yeah, you can tell what's marketed to who.
It's very
back and
obvious.
Forth and,
So no, race is absolutely used by companies to learn how to market. It's to know where their target audience is.
But call me crazy, okay? I'm just like, if Kaepernick. Okay, I get it. I can kind of understand it. But I'm thinking to myself, there are so many more current relevant athletes that would be so much more superior that are still on that cause.
How about
that still support it? That's what I'm saying. There's young ones.
But there's young athletes that are on the rise now. We saw some of them this last.
Oh yeah.
Saw some amazing football players popping up. Some of these young guys are. I'm excited about some of the football players coming up. They're really talented. Could have used any of these guys.
Any of them. Take any of the guys, 4 or 5 of the guys that were just inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame. If you want a past athlete, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's almost insulting to say, well, instead of Kaepernick, take a guy from the Hall of Fame. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
It's weird to make that comparison, right?
But I guess it's the social impact of Colin Kaepernick now. But yeah, if you look at some of I think Serena Williams is an excellent choice. She's a mid-30s. And they're targeting race because that's clearly what they were doing was targeting race. Well, she's a fantastic representative of the black community in professional tennis.
Yeah,
she's one of the greatest tennis players of all time. Well, Venus isn't as good as Serena. Serena is a.
My issue with Serena is the sportsmanship. The fucking bullshit sportsmanship. That's
Serena is everybody knows Serena. No one talks about Venus. Everybody talks about Serena. Serena can sell.
She's a monster. And let me be very clear. Her athletic ability on that court is unmatched by any other woman, period.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't even want to.
Probably ever. I don't know. I've never seen a female tennis player. In
Well,
her heyday.
Yeah. I don't like to say anything about past generation. We've had that discussion. So
but I'm just saying physically comparing. I've never seen a female tennis player physically dominate like that.
No. She's dominated for longer and more than any other female athlete in that sport.
Age is starting to catch her. She's still finals of the U.S. Open.
Right.
She's still one of the best in the world. But
right.
now these young, it's just facts of life.
Right.
Age, especially in professional sports. With some exceptions, these professional sports, the younger guys are the younger guys and girls are the ones that they're the ones that are going to pick up and start dominating. It's all a young man, young woman's game.
Exactly. I mean, that's just how it works. Training increases, nutrition increases. You start younger. Your equipment's better. I mean, everything just cycles better. So that's just the natural cycle of it. But even that is, I'm like, you pick Serena. She has this explosion.
Well, it was a bad week. I'm standing by. It was a bad week for Nike. I think you had, they had one college that dumped them. I don't think Alabama dumped them. I think that was fake news. But there was a junior college that dumped.
There's Nike. A few that will.
You saw some other athletes cutting off. Like you saw, I think it was not JJ Redick. I'm thinking basketball.
No, one of the
what's
Astros.
his name? Redding, or I think it's Redding from the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
He cut the Nike logo out of his stuff. So I'm kind of curious if he got fined on that, but because baseball has got to have a contract. They have a contract with Nike, so I'm sure if you cut that out, that's some type of violation.
That's a weird uniform rule. That's where they get a lot of these guys, is that you're required to wear a uniform in X way.
You violated the uniform rule. But I mean, you saw some guys kind of quietly take a little bit of a stand, and they didn't even announce it; they just did it, which I
that
like.
To me is that most professional way to go about it. It's just kind of like just do it, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that mother.
Anyway, we'll see how that breaks down. I think we'll see. The proof will be in time. I think Kaepernick's gonna drift away because I just don't think he's a seller. I don't think he's gonna be selling Nike products. I don't see it. I think he's gonna.
For me, that's a hard sell because he's not relevant.
He's not relevant. Yeah. He wasn't. It would be one thing if he won a couple Super Bowls and he had like an MVP or near MVP season, and then just got shut out, right? Because everybody would be saying, well, he's like. I heard someone compare him to Muhammad Ali, which was so insulting.
Oh, please.
Insulting because it's like Kaepernick never was the level of athlete in his sport that Muhammad Ali was. When Muhammad Ali stopped, when he got banned from boxing, he was
world champ.
Was he world champ at the time? The best on the planet. And got banned for what he took a stand in, whether you agree with him or not.
Yeah.
But
and then with Kaepernick, let's be fair. He had an amazing partial season.
A lot of guys do.
A lot of people have amazing partial seasons. We see every single year, we see guys go through 4 to 6 games where they shut people down in every aspect of their game. And then when the next season rolled,
the league catches up to you.
They know what they're dealing with, and you're toast. And even because Kaepernick obviously was a very scheme quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. The closest to him that has been successful would be Russell Wilson.
Right.
I think that would be a fair comparison.
I think Russell Wilson, he definitely has more talent.
Yeah, but what did Russell Wilson do? People figured him out. He adjusted, so now he's more of a pocket. Right. He's more of a traditional quarterback.
Which always happens to quarterbacks. If they're going to be successful, they're going to have to do it from the pocket eventually.
Yeah, you've got to.
That just happens.
So, Kaepernick did do it. He had a really good little snapshot of a career.
He had that one year which was like, wow.
Right. Before that, he wasn't good because he was benched before that. And the only reason he got that second chance is because of injuries, right? And Alex Smith had a really bad two or three games. Seriously, right? I mean, that's why he got a second chance. And so he did. He took advantage of it. Great. Went to the Super Bowl, the whole thing. Get it? That's wonderful. And then went to shit. Mm-hmm. And then lost 7 straight or something after that.
I don't know. I think he had 2 and they had like a 2-14 season or something like that.
It was bad. Whatever. The next year was really bad.
It was a really bad season.
It was really bad.
And it was because of him. Yes. He was a big part of it. I mean, San Francisco kind of fell apart there. But, yeah, he was a big part of that.
So, just saying that because I don't want people to be like, oh, well, but his stats, his stats, that. His stats are skewed. His stats are skewed. That's like last year with Kansas City and Hunt as the running back. He had the first 4 games. He destroyed everybody, and then he was mediocre after that the rest of the year. It's just what happens. He's still great. That's just what happens. He's not as good as that snapshot. Yeah. So if you try to base opinions of Hunt 2 years from now based on those 4 games, it's skewed.
Yeah.
Everything is skewed, Yeah. So just I want to put that out there because I want people throwing me hate.
Yeah. Well, if you try to argue that he was a legitimately good quarterback past that 1 year, then you lose me automatically because you're being intellectually dishonest.
Exactly.
He wasn't.
And he was offered a job, didn't take it. So
yeah, he turned it. Was it with
Elway?
With Broncos, right? Yeah, they offered him a contract, and he didn't like the terms.
Yeah. Most of it was performance based, so he didn't like that.
Which is good, smart on Elway's part. Yeah. If you go back to playing like that, we'll pay you.
You come in and kick ass, you're going to get paid out the wazoo. If you come in and suck,
well, guess what? Now you don't have a job.
Yeah, now you got nothing.
Because you had already treading on thin ice before that.
And his lawsuit's still going on, which against the NFL for conspiracy not to hire. I mean,
collusion not to
yeah.
hire, which I think is a weird one because I'm like, but they have a right to hire who they want. They're a private business.
Yeah. Well, on their rules and their bylaws, they cannot communicate. Yeah, they can't collude.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to go, well, you were making yourself poison. Like a team. So what are we going to do? We're going to force the team to hire you? I mean, it's.
They do
Nobody
that,
wanted to touch you.
They do that. You know, that gets into.
You weren't good enough to overcome that.
They get in trouble if they don't interview a certain number of minorities for this job or that job or this and that. And
it's hard to be post-racial.
You know, it's just people chew my ass. I just got to say this because I by no means am I in any level racist. Absolutely not. I don't give a shit who's in front of me. If they're the best person, I want them. I don't care if it's a guy. I don't care if it's a girl. I don't care if they're black, white, Hispanic, Indian, Asian. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they're what their sexual orientation is, if they're bi, if they're trans. I'm against the animal thing, bestiality. I'm really so that might be the line for me. I'm gonna put that being the line for me.
Openly is a little weird.
Yeah, if you're putting bumper stickers on your car about bestiality, I might.
What you do in the privacy of your own barn is your business.
Hey, if I don't know about it. If I don't know, it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Don't bring it up. I don't want to know.
So there's my line. But basically, I don't care.
Yeah.
And most people don't care.
I totally agree. People don't give a shit. People want to work with and be around the best.
Yes. And those
good people.
Yes. And people that know me personally, I know a lot of very powerful people. I know multiple billionaires. I know not a people. You know, I'm in a situation that in my network are some very powerful people that are slammed for supposedly being racist and bigoted and all this other kind of shit. It's crap. Well, having personal, private conversations with them, they don't fucking care. They don't care.
Of course they don't. Nobody really does. But again, we're in a time where people are looking to attack somebody.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, I know we didn't really talk about earlier, but with the Kavanaugh hearings, I don't want to get into the whole thing with Kavanaugh, but I just want to talk about the ultimate troll was the female aide who was sitting behind him, and she was holding her. We went over the white power symbol joke. That was a 4chan troll.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
That bunch of idiots fell for. Bullshit. She's sitting there scratching her arm and just sitting, and it just sits like that.
Yeah.
And immediately went out, oh, look, they're just not even hiding it. They're just being in our face with the white power stuff. First of all, that particular aide is half Jewish, half Hispanic. I believe her grandparents actually died in Auschwitz in a concentration camp or survived a concentration camp.
They were part of it somehow, yes.
They were in a concentration camp.
Yes.
Her grandparents were in a concentration camp.
Come on, man.
Just try to understand the thought of that in your family, and then you're going to turn into a white power person. And first of all, you're Jewish and Hispanic, so it doesn't even make sense.
It makes no sense.
It's a reach. But the ultimate troll, and her, so the people are just, they're looking for any way to label somebody in a way that completely negates them as a person and their points of view and their right to exist, makes them go away.
We'll go off topic. I don't give a damn. I don't like the idea of this. This is the way I read it, okay? And I'm going to condense it, so I'm not going to go into the long, detailed stuff for it so people can, I'll get hit for it. I feel like we have created a situation that we have given an awkward level of power, ultimate power, to blind or false accusations from anyone to anyone. Mostly from a minority group in quotations to a non-minority group or person, again in quotations. This minority, non-minority shit blows me out of the fucking mind because, anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But it's just the simple fact that a woman can walk up to a man and scream and yell and call a newspaper and say they raped them. That man's career will end before the media and everyone finds out that he has no idea who that woman is.
No,
right?
You're right. It's happened.
They'll be investigated. There'll be this thing. They'll likely lose their job. All of this shit will happen from an accusation from a woman. He has no idea who they are.
Remember the Duke University? Was that the Duke University rape allegation where the same thing happened? What do they say? And I quotes, but where the lie will pass around the world 1,000 times before the truth has a chance
Yeah,
to go around once. It's 100% true. Like it's 100% true. People loves the salacious story. The salacious lie get a ton of attention before. We see it with fake news on social media. Man, something salacious, I've fallen for it. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And I've been corrected. Hey, that's not accurate. Oh,
that's
shit.
bullshit.
So I've gotten a lot better about, that sounds too good.
Yeah.
Let me double check that because that sounds like too juicy.
I do the same. I'm like, fuck, I got to go look it up.
Let's double check.
And it's not, you can't even look at one site because.
Oh, no, because, they
now the
fed
check,
off of it too.
the fact check sites are
those
screwed up
crap.
themselves.
Yeah, that's crazy. But no, you're right, man. It's gotten to where any kind of accusation, and I feel like the pendulum is so far. We're starting to. I think as a society, it's starting to stop. Like I think we're starting to get to the point where like, all right, did that really happen? Because we've been down this road. You guys have fooled me a couple times before. Let me see the whole story.
Yes.
People are starting to get there.
More and more now, when little video clips and stuff are sent out, they're like, "Hold up, what happened before and after? Like, don't fuck with me. Yeah, that looks bad. But
let's see the whole thing.
Give me the whole thing. Don't give me this. Don't give me that, and the whole deal. So it's, I'm waiting for the time that there is that adjustment back.
I think it's gonna happen. I think we're almost there. I think the Trump effect, as far as I think like Trump's election, we've talked about it a million times, but like Trump's election was definitely a point where it was like people, I think that was that first indicator where people like, everybody pump your brakes, hold your horses. I'm not falling for this bullshit anymore. Let's just vote for Trump. Let's see what happens. Because I'm calling bullshit on all this stuff that's been happening.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with, I think everything's kind of swinging back. I think we're seeing it slowly. I think when you talk to people, they've seen enough that they're starting to go, okay, hold up. Because there's been people cry wolf so hard. And like what you've seen in politics like this with the Kavanaugh hearings. Yeah. And it's been before that, but like the ridiculousness of some of the things that were said by people on the left trying to just drum up some type of opposition to, because they can't stop him from being nominated, from getting onto the Supreme Court. So they're trying to do something to derail it, and with the Booker stuff.
It's all. I'll say this. This is gonna sound political. It's not. Yeah. I don't give a shit if it's conservative, Democrat. I don't on this. The fact is, a party in the very short-term history created a rules change that is just a simple majority. It passes through and confirms the nominations of the presidents. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you make the rule change and you got to live with the rules. Yeah, that's where we are now. Sorry, you can bitch and moan until the cows come home. That's just the reality that was created by Party A. I don't care who claim this, claim that, right? This comes in, then you get Kavanaugh. They've talked about his history. He's 90-something% in line with the Chief Justice at D.C., where he was in, who was a Democrat. Mm-hmm. They've agreed on some 29 of 30 of his opinions they agree on, of dissensions or either way. Mm-hmm. And then the ones on the other, it was like 28 or 29 of 30, and then something, again, there were only one or two different on the other side. 90-something% they agree on everything across the board. Right. What's the problem?
Well, here's the thing.
Can we just stop it?
For sure, Kavanaugh's a conservative justice. I mean, there's definitely he's a conservative justice. He's not a far-right justice. He's more of a John Roberts. Yeah. Is that the Chief Justice? Yeah. I get all my names confused. But, he's not an Elena Kagan. No. She's far left. Yeah. She's a far left justice. And she got through.
They compare him a lot to Scalia.
I don't think he's as far right as Scalia. I wish he was as far right as Scalia.
But they compare a lot of his recent years' opinions.
I think he's a solid guy. So it actually is a really nice. It's a really good nomination. It'll make the court a good play. It'll be a good addition. I think they're freaking out because they know they got Judith Bader Ginsburg just holding on to life and fighting death as hard as possible and staying on till Trump's out of office, and they know if he's reelected that there's no way she's making it. If she makes it, she already looks like the Crypt Keeper. Yeah. Man, if she makes it, she's gonna literally be on oxygen, refusing to give up her seat. Yeah. To make sure a Democrat takes, they're scared to death she won't make it, and then he'll get a third. That'll be crazy having 3 nominations in this term.
Yeah, if he runs again or is reelected or another conservative or whatever, if the conservatives
God
win,
forbid if the conservatives elected again,
it's
after
over.
Trump,
Well,
she won't make it.
No,
I'll be surprised if she makes it through a second Trump term.
Yeah.
Like this, she's 90.
She's 90.
She's
That's
90
right.
years old.
I'm not like 89 would be a lot better, but I'm just like, no, she's 8, but that's just sounds.
Or the Democrats over there just pumping her full of like life juice, whatever they give rich people to keep them alive for so long.
Yeah.
They got to be just pumping her. They got to like have, they give like those stents that they just put in so they can just hook up. She probably goes home at night and she's just got automatic feeds. She just plugs in. They're just filling her with life juice. They're like, "Don't die.
I'm holding.
Don't die." And in a minute, the Democrats elected, they're gonna be like, "Plug it out.
Yep.
Okay, you got to go because we can't take any more chances."
Man.
You know, that's
she's
what's
any
happening.
second.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's hanging in there.
Yeah.
She's still fiery. You see her up there spewing. She's got her mind still there.
That's what I'm saying. I feel good in the fact that anytime she has spoken or I've heard her speak,
She
or
seems
seen a recording,
articulate. She knows what's going on.
She's there. Her mind.
I don't
is still
agree with
there.
her what she says, but
Well, yeah, but that's
yeah. No,
her
so
mind
that's-
is her mind is there.
So you brought up
She-
something that so back to football.
Yeah, let's get back.
Bad transition right there, but back to football because it was the first week of the NFL, and I ain't gonna lie, it just felt so good to have football on. But I was watching my Cowboys. And,
your Cowboys.
so
yeah.
I want to give a little. What I want to say is I want to give them a little positive reinforcement before I hit them with the negative.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's an important teaching strategy. When I'm teaching, I've always liked to throw something positive first and hit them with a negative, and finish with something positive.
Yeah.
I think it's a good teaching strategy. So I'll say this: defense looks good. I think the defense looks very good.
Yeah.
They held up. Their offense was not holding the ball hardly at all.
It was almost a 2-to-1 ratio of time of possession.
And their defense was doing a real. Once they kind of figured out Cam Newton, they were holding him in check.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job. I thought the defense did. I was very encouraged by how well the defense played. To be honest with you, I thought they did a very good job. The other thought I thought was, I wonder how fast they're going to call Des Bryant to see if they can work out a contract.
Oh man.
And I thought, man, because wow, do you need a legit number 1 receiver right now desperately?
Yeah.
Like, desperately.
Yes.
And then I saw the tweets.
Yep.
And I realized
He's gone, man.
that I think Scott Linehan was even asked about it, and he just walked away.
Yeah.
And so that tells me a couple things. One, I think the issue was between him and Scott Linehan. There's something happened here that they couldn't repair their relationship. Des Bryant's still a good receiver. He wasn't worth the money he was making anymore.
Right.
But he's still a really good receiver. And whatever happened there got around to the other teams because nobody touched him.
Right.
Nobody wants to touch him for whatever reason. He still has talent, though.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's asking for too much money. I don't know if contracts have been offered.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of the salary caps,
Mm-hmm.
and there's really only 2 or 3 teams that can afford him without doing some crazy shit.
Dallas is one of them.
Well, yeah.
Dallas can re-sign him.
Yeah.
Now, I still wonder if they don't try to work it out this week. You got to think Jerry Jones is like, guys, fellas, please.
The way Jerry Jones stormed off with a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure he's not happy.
He was.
Well, the play, Dak. Look, and it's not like it wasn't really the offensive line's fault. If you watch it, Dak had time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
There's no one open.
Yeah.
If you watch the routes, they were poorly run. Not except for maybe Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley was doing the thing he does.
He was doing good. It was.
But the other guys were. They're not getting open.
Yeah.
And if you watch them, you're seeing some lazy. I'm not a pro football coach, not a players coach, but I've been watching football since I was a little kid. Played through junior high. Look, I just thought that you can't see on the TV, you can't see the routes really being run. But when they would do cutaways and show some of the routes being run, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't look right. They just didn't look like they were sharp.
That's exactly it. I was going to say that they weren't sharp and concise.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't helping. They were not helping Dak out.
Yeah, I don't think it was Dak's fault. He did miss some open guys, but that always happens.
You're gonna. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have some bad throws. So get out of here, And there's so many times. Don't. I'm not mad at it because they weren't horrible throws.
No.
And under that pressure and the time and the speed of things that are going, and you're 6 inches off on a throw, it's going to happen. So I'm not hitting him on that. I'm just saying is that compare the late third and fourth quarter of the Green Bay game with a hurt and injured. Hold on, he was injured.
What a game!
And don't even look at Rodgers' play. Okay,
well, those receivers are
because the line
point.
And this was where I was is the offensive line of the Cowboys and the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers were acting in an extremely similar manner in those quarters, as far as how they were letting the pocket come around and what was getting through and what wasn't, and how Rodgers was having to slip out, how Prescott was having to slip out. Those were very similar. Don't even pay attention to that. Just look at the receivers.
I know the receivers.
Those receivers were helping.
I was watching that game, and actually, when I saw Rodgers go out, I was like, "Oh no,
oh, it was over,
not
dude.
again."
Yeah, we turned it off for a little bit.
Not again.
Yeah,
and you saw knee, so you thought he's done. He carted off on it with the knee.
Yeah,
he's done. And so actually, I wasn't watching more either. I think it was. I started watching something with my girlfriend. We were watching something, and then I clicked it back on just to see what was going. Just see what's going on, because I think last time I saw the Bears were up like 20-0.
It was 20-0. Yeah.
And then I saw Rodgers back in the game. I was like, it's like start of the third quarter or something. And I was like, oh no, what? Not oh no, because I actually, as much as I hate him, I kind of like him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, he's back. And first thought was, they're winning.
Yeah.
Rodgers doesn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, especially if he's got I don't know how many games he's come back from.
It's a lot.
I can't think of a quarterback like him with the comeback, with his ability to come back. And his team, it's not just him. Like, his receivers make amazing catches. And they're not like, they're good receivers, right? But
they don't stop.
They make plays.
They keep going.
His team, they just, and I feel like he's that guy that elevates his team. He's one of those special guys that absolutely elevates. Because I've seen him make throws that you're like, no one's catching that ball, but that receiver will
somehow, like, it looks like a whip.
Be an inch above the ground, and he'll snag it. Yeah. You're like, I mean, I don't know what I'm more impressed with, the throw
or the catch.
Like, it's so incredible. No, Green Bay and I felt better than ever that I picked them to go to the Super Bowl after that game because Chicago's no lightweight. They're
well, especially Khalil Mack was tearing shit up.
Yes, he made his presence felt, right? He made his presence. It was like, wow.
I was like, wait, he's that good?
And Mitch, how do I say his name? Trubisky.
Trubisky.
I can't. I think it's Trubisky. He's a good quarterback. He's gonna be
okay. Yeah,
he's second year. He's gonna be okay, I think. They're a solid team, but man, Green Bay, dude, Aaron Rodgers, god damn, I stand by all apologies to the Patriots fans and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback we're watching play right now. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Yeah, and we've talked about that.
He may win another Super Bowl or two this year. Next, he's got the team. He can do it.
Because I agree. I'm just holding my breath until I find out what the diagnosis is on that knee.
Well, he was limping around. Oh, he'll play. If he could play a second half, I know they shot him up with something and rubbed some magic juju on it, but if he could. We've seen him do it before, play on one leg and win games.
He did then.
He's done it before.
He threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter on one leg.
Unbelievable, right?
Again, he had help. I mean, it wasn't
against a good defense.
He was slinging it too. It wasn't even like he was ducking him in.
He's got an arm. He's always had this amazing arm. Can you believe that he sat in that draft room for 24 picks?
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to touch it. How many teams are kicking themselves? 23 teams are kicking themselves in the ass right now.
He is as good as he is, but he would not be this good if he didn't sit behind Favre for the 3 years.
I don't know if I agree with that because he had to have the talent. He had to look.
I don't know,
come
man.
on, Brett Favre.
I don't know.
Brett Favre is not a student of the game the way.
No, I'm not saying the fact that he was learning from Favre.
You just think the ability to have time to mature.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, like Troy Aikman. I think Aaron Rodgers is way better than Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
But Troy Aikman was a great quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. He was thrown into the fire from the jump.
Yeah. Some it works.
Beat
some
the
of them
shit
works.
the first 2 years.
Yeah.
He took some poundings.
Yeah.
So if you got the talent, I think it'll. I think it presents itself.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, then, or if you're on the edge with it, maybe it needs to be molded. But I think Aaron Rodgers is so special. I think even without sitting behind Brett, I think it did help for sure. But I think without sitting behind him, I think
he'd be as good.
Yeah, I do. I really do. And those Brett Favre teams were good. It's not like those Brett Favre teams were bad.
Yeah.
They were making playoff runs right there.
Yeah.
They didn't win this. Yeah, they didn't win the Super Bowl under him because that was Brett Favre was at 90.
Did they go once when he was there?
I don't think so.
I have to look back. Yeah,
I don't think so because they won. What year did they win? I don't remember. But
yeah, I'm just trying to.
He wasn't
yeah,
there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
We just forget how we're just old. And we
I know,
forget how
so
long
many
Brett
seasons.
Favre was
I
there
know.
before even
Freaking
just
forever,
got there.
dude.
Yeah.
Shit. So my point is this: I like the Cowboys' defense.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys'
They're
offense.
Nice.
They're in trouble if they don't fix that.
It's fixable.
It's
I'll
still
tell you right now,
fixable,
it is
but-
fixable because they have like Ezekiel Elliott still Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
We saw that when he just didn't get fed the ball enough. He
Yeah,
only got
I
like
can
15,
agree.
16 touches. And you
Yeah.
saw, because I was watching my brother, I was like, God, feed him the ball. He's going to break it.
Yeah.
He's going to break it. It's going to happen. He always does. He's too powerful and too fast.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And you saw him he broke a couple. And I was like, keep
He
feeding
had a few
him.
big runs.
Keep
yeah.
feeding them. And I think they felt too behind. And I think their strategy was because the boxes were getting loaded up. I mean, they weren't even hiding it. That they were just saying, we're going to stop the run. That's when you saw them spread it out.
Yeah.
Which they started having success with. So it was good. But I still thought they needed to find a way to get the ball in Zeke's hands a little more.
I think in their defense, so I think they're in trouble unless they fix it. Okay.
Yes.
One. In their defense, I don't know that Khalil Mack could have played any better of a game. I think he screwed them up because they didn't have that number one receiver like we talked about, right?
You're talking
that
about
issue.
not Khalil Mack. You mean
No, I mean no.
Yeah, you're thinking
blank.
Bears,
Yeah, I was because I keep seeing the injury in my head.
yeah, very much.
Kuechly.
Okay.
Because I'm sitting there watching the whole thing, and then even when they were going for that touchdown drive towards the end, and I don't know if it was his stomach, his thigh, I don't know what the hell he got hurt, but I remember he was banged up.
Mm-hmm.
The next play, he makes a tackle. The next play, he was behind it. You guys scored, but he went from opposite side of the field over almost to defend the pass.
Yeah, no, Carolina's defense is good too.
Look, like he was killing it.
Yeah, no, Carolina has a good defense
Yeah.
also. So that's why I'm like not panicky about it,
Yeah.
but there's an issue that needs to be addressed this week.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Look, I think the perfect formula is the Giants.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect formula for Cowboys. Their defense is
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause that's y'all playing them this week, right?
They play Sunday Night Football. So I think for the Dallas Cowboys, that's the and of course, Eli Manning always plays well against the Cowboys, but they did well against the Jaguars. Jaguars are a really good football team, so they didn't do terrible. But I think they're the perfect. I think they're the perfect fix for the Cowboys. They should win that game, in my opinion.
No, I agree if they can get the right mixture of plays.
Yeah.
If they don't fall behind early or do something stupid, Saquon's a beast, dude. Holy
Oh
crap!
no, so he's as good as advertised, right?
Holy
He's as good as advertised. I was very impressed.
wow!
He's got that was that one. He did one run, broke it to the outside, and bing. I mean, that was like you can see.
I was like, he's running against college players again. I'm like, oh no, this is the NFL.
He just
Shit.
blew everybody out of the water. Saquon, he's definitely as good as advertised. I think. This was game one, but
Well,
you see it,
give him
you
some
see it.
time, but you can tell like the way people move and the way they do things.
Yeah,
and all,
he had
he's
that.
he's
He had that.
something special.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that too. And I guess Patriots are still the Patriots.
Their defense is, would right now from week one,
Mm-hmm.
and I say typically don't judge people until at least week 4, right?
Right.
From week 1, I would probably take the Patriots defense over any other team.
Yeah.
On the defense wise.
Yeah, they're good. I didn't see as much of the game as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch some of it, but yeah, I wasn't surprised to see Patriots. I think they were at 21-3 at one point or 21-6, and I just wasn't shocked. I was like,
yeah.
something like that. They were being the Patriots.
Yeah.
I was like, they're the same old Patriots.
It's just
they're
what they do.
Consistent. They're good, and you better be. If you want to beat them, you have to play your best.
Yeah, you can't make
less,
mistakes.
Nothing less.
Yeah.
And again, the Texans. We kind of talked about the Texans.
They're a good team.
They're
Don't
a good
play.
team,
They're a good team.
but still got a rookie quarterback.
Yes.
And I think that became evident. He played a below average game.
Yeah.
He played a below average game. He threw some bad balls.
His legs kept them in it.
Yeah.
His legs kept them in it. Got a couple of those things in there, and your live video ended. That's okay though.
No worries.
It'll keep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he kept them in it a little bit, and all the power to him. I didn't like at the very end of the game him trying to stretch his legs out. He stopped in the middle of the field the second it clicked over, and he's reaching out, grabbing his toe and this stuff, and then
he's cramping up maybe.
I don't know, but it was the surgery leg, and Brady went over to him and kind of kneeled down and was good game or whatever, and he wouldn't get up. He's just kind of like, had that. I didn't like that expression. And I'm like, ooh,
that's not good.
Because my prediction is that he would have got injured in that game. I'm surprised he didn't.
You thought he came back too quick.
I still think he came back too quick. I don't know if he's going to be 100%.
Well, that's not a good sign if you saw that. We'll see. Well, these trainers though, they keep these guys put together amazingly well.
They do
for
well.
16 games.
No shit.
Considering how beat up they get. But
Le'Veon Bell.
Man, is that crazy? Boy, Steelers hurt. They sure wish they had him last week.
I mean, now his replacement still outperformed Bell in any of his games last year. But it was a rain game. It was the Browns.
I have to be honest. I didn't watch the game. I've only seen highlights, and I just saw that the tie.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than tying in the NFL? Like it really is like kissing your sister, right?
I hate right.
It's
Shit.
horrible.
It's like ties. Like why the fuck? How can we have no ties? Dude,
is it possible that it's worse than a loss?
I mean, I think from a player's perspective, yes.
Yeah.
From a ratings and rank and perspective, all that kind of bullshit.
It's slightly better, but
it is because then if
it's like losing a game. It's like you don't. It's like the game didn't play.
Yeah, it never happened.
You've lost the game.
You just wasted your afternoon.
I know.
And a week of prep.
Ties are so weird in football, and it doesn't happen that often.
No.
Man.
Like we do. I don't think they average one a year.
No, they don't. So, because when one happens, it's like tie.
Because I don't think any last year and the year before that.
They got to fix a rule to not finish with a tie. Either I know that you got to limit the games otherwise, but do like college rule. Start on the freaking where they start on the 45.
Yeah, so maybe in pro start on the 50.
Yeah, and they got it. So start on the 50. Each team gets a possession from the 50. Because it seems like the way college does it seems to work out.
It ends pretty quick.
Because there's only so many plays.
Yeah.
And boom, and then the other one's on the 50.
Yeah.
So it only takes a couple plays, especially in the NFL, to get within field goal range. Yeah. And because these kickers are booming 65-yard kicks in their sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to go. I like the way the college does it. I think it makes a little more sense. Takes out the kickoff part.
I will say this. I didn't like the kickoffs. I'm watching it every time somebody ran one out. I'm like, oh.
Oh, really? You were like worried about the hits?
Because they got it's all in my brain now, right? But this is the deal. I kept watching them. For the most part, I don't know that any actual run back made a significant difference opposed to just taking it at the 25.
So you're a proponent of getting rid of kickoffs? Or you're leaning that way?
I'm leaning that way.
I don't know, man.
I'm leaning that way.
I like those kickoffs. But, I have to say, it wouldn't kill football if they got rid of it. I don't think it would. The kickoff's pretty exciting, though. There's something about a kickoff.
If there's a good run back, it's exciting.
Well, there's something about a kickoff to start the game, too.
Yeah.
Boom.
No, I agree.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's part of the game. But, but then would you be a proponent of getting rid of punt returns? Because punt returns are not quite as bad, but they're similar.
This is almost my fix. Because punts and punt returns, I'm cool with. Because there's a longer hang time. People are set. It's not a mad rush. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more of a planned, strategic, tactical type situation. A punt, right? When you see those. I'm almost like put the guys on the 45 and punt it.
Yeah, that was my second. So you just have them start with a punt.
Yeah. So it's still a kickoff.
Technically a kickoff, but it's punting it.
Punt.
Would you punt it like when you come off a safety style? They just line up and punt it?
Line up just like they line up on a kickoff. Just put them in the 40 or 45 or whatever, so you know that it's going to land.
You're always going to get a return because you're not punting it through the end zone.
Right.
Like these guys, they're good.
Yeah.
But that's
you want to set it up to where it lands close to the goal line every time on a punt. Because on a punt, like run backs, sometimes you can get that because you have blocking, you have these things, you can run down differently because the hang time is so much more than a kickoff. Yeah. Distance is shorter, typically, on most of the time. The distance is shorter and you get a bigger hang time.
Right. And they need that hang time.
And the hang time allows people to get down there, so you reduce the impact of those collisions down at the end, and people are breaking down and trying to react.
Why not
and
just move the kickoffs back to like the 25?
Same thing.
I mean,
because they get it, so it's when they catch it,
then
they're running full speed.
But
by the
what
time
I'm
these
saying
guys
is,
full.
don't you think that that would change kickoffs because if you're kicking off from the 25, you're not. There's no way you're kicking it through the end zone.
You think it force them to kick it higher?
It's going to force them to kick the ball higher to focus on hang time.
Yeah.
I think it would focus unless they or squirt it. They would start squirting it through there.
Or change it, and if it goes through the end zone, it comes out to the 30 or 35.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you incentivize them to give that lift.
Do you think
lift
the NFL is going to end up? I think they're going to end up changing the kickoff
Yeah.
rule. They've been talking about it.
They keep
for
doing
years.
it because it's changed now, so they can't get the running start now.
Yeah.
I don't think that really matters when you're running 50 yards.
Well, when these guys hit 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, in 5 yards at full speed.
Exactly. I mean,
these
it doesn't.
guys are so explosive.
Yeah. So I don't think that matters, but yeah, I think it's going to change.
Yeah,
I'd like to. I mean,
see how they change the rule. I kind of like your idea.
The punt thing. I mean, because it's still a kickoff. It's still this.
But
then
it's enough of a change to kind of reduce some of the impacts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I didn't. Most of the kickoffs are going through the end zone, so there's not that many returns. But yeah, I don't. It didn't. I mean, I'm always like, but I guess I'm not thinking about the head injuries that much.
And I'm
as
like,
much as I would think.
Is it worth? Is the kickoff worth 2 or 3 yards on average?
Yeah, right. Because it's not.
If it's a 28 instead of 25, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Rarely, it's almost always right. They almost always end up with the same spot if you just almost
an overwhelming
unless
percent.
something weird happens.
Yeah. I have to look at the stats, but
it always amazes me how that happens. Like it's like that's so crazy. Like they almost always end up where they would get the ball anyway.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
That's why I'm kind of like, well, who gives
that's a
shit?
really good point. It's like almost like the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah,
is that what they say?
And I feel like because think of how many punts get run back. A decent amount of punts get good returns.
Punts, you get some exciting returns because there's almost always a return.
Right, because you have to wait, you have to hesitate, you have to block.
And you're right. There's a better setup.
Yeah,
there is a better setup.
You're forced to set up.
Yeah,
it's a strategy as opposed to a big ass free for all. I'd like it, man. That would be a good one for me.
It'd be interesting to see if the NFL ends up doing that. I think you're right. I kind of think they will. We'll see. What's coming up this week? We got who's the Patriots playing?
Oh, we got Jaguars.
Holy shit! Is that Monday night game?
I think it.
Man, they better
doubling. I got to look again, dude.
They better flex that game to the afternoon.
They're doubling them up
because Cowboys are Sunday night, so that means.
I don't think it's Monday.
Oh
I know we have a lot of
Sunday
Sunday night
games.
games.
A Monday night game. Jaguars Patriots right now, 2 Super Bowl contenders.
Dude, I'll have to pull it up.
That defense.
Yeah. Holy moly,
man! I can't. I'm gonna watch that game. That's gonna be a fun game. I'm excited.
I feel comfortable saying that right now. That's the number 1 and 2 defense in the league.
Yeah,
it's only week 1.
I mean, we don't
kill me
based on week 1 performance, right?
Yeah.
Well, what about okay, real quick, because there's one guy I want to talk about who blew me away. Maybe it was too much, but like, who was your? We'll say, who are you most excited to watch play this year? Taking away the big players like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's, whatever. Like up and coming player that you saw, and you go, man, I can't wait to see more of that guy.
I guess he's been in the league too long. I would say Mack. Khalil Mack was my favorite coming out of Buffalo.
Yeah, he's an interesting one because
of
his switch to Chicago. I think that makes it interesting.
Because when he was coming out of University of Buffalo, I was like, take him fucking number 1. I was like, holy shit, he is the best player in this draft. Period, hands down.
He looked at yesterday, didn't he?
And I'm like, crap. I mean, he kicked ass in Buffalo on a really shitty team.
Yeah.
And then he went out to the Raiders. Mm-hmm. He was doing really well at the Raiders, but I don't.
The Raiders, Raiders are a mess.
It's a weird organization.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great. It has been for decades. Mm-hmm. Jumps over to Chicago and does that on a week's notice?
That's crazy, right? Like he has their scheme. Their scheme must be similar. I guess defensive schemes probably aren't that complicated. If you're playing linebacker, right. You're looking for the hole or you're looking for the read. So I mean, it's not like
there's still defensive playbooks and there's still a lot he can learn
but linebackers
and grow on,
probably there's only so much to it. It's not like you're defensive back and you got to know.
And please don't think I'm simplifying. I played middle linebacker and hybrid end and all that. And like, it is not easy by any means.
No,
but there's a lot of similarities.
Well, yeah. So. Okay, Khalil Mack. He's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like this kid. I hope I say his name right. Is it Tyreek Evans out of Kansas City? Is there Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill.
He looked 3 touchdowns.
Phenomenal. Does he not look like he's playing? He's a video game player. The speed.
He is like
on this
Darren
kid.
Sproles when he came out.
But a little
back when.
A little bigger, like not. Because
no, he's bigger.
A little dude.
Yeah, he's bigger, but he's that speed.
That speed. I mean, he looked like. Kind of like we talk about Saquon Barkley, that this kid had jets. Like if you didn't get him down, he took. I think his first 2 plays were for a touchdown. I think it was a punt return for a touchdown, and then his first catch was 56 yards for a touchdown.
Yes, his first 2 or maybe 3 touches. He got 2 touchdowns.
This kid looked.
Holy dude,
he's exciting. He's very. I'm looking forward to watching him play just to see if he keeps doing. Because there's guys with speed like that. If they can match it with skill, like if they can match like that receiver position, there's a ton of guys with speed, right?
Yeah.
But how many of them can play the position?
Yeah.
And if they can, because they start making those cuts and running those routes with that speed, because those defensive backs, how do you deal with that? If you got a guy that can blow by you that fast,
you have to over under double him.
You can't.
You got to over under double him.
There's no option. You have no choice. And there's so much you can do with a guy like that, man. I think he's gonna be fun to watch this year. He's gonna be a SportsCenter highlight guy. Every week.
He'll be a lot of fun. And I'm trying to think of like the not biggest names. But that's hard. I mean, for me, defensively.
I know I threw it at you real fast. I kept watching that kid, and I was like, man, this kid is exciting. I'm very excited. I think Saquon Barkley is gonna be fun to watch. He's kind of a big name just because of his draft status.
Yeah. I think I just went blank on his name. Number 12 for the Texans. You got Hopkins, number 10, number 12. I just totally went blank on his name. I think he is going to have a big year because of what Hopkins is going to draw. Mm-hmm. And he made some pretty good plays, catches.
That's usually the way it works, right? When you got a big receiver, if you got a real good number 2, then
I just can't think of his. I just went blank on his name.
Number 12. I don't know. Crap. I'm not the biggest Texans fan, so.
I'm not either.
I
saw it. Yeah, and watching him and watching his routes and watching how he was doing stuff, he's
good.
Who
else was surprised? Was that I think it was Ed McCaffrey with Carolina? Watching him, that little number 22.
Yeah, he's
he was
dude,
pissing me off. I told Tony, this little shit's pissing me off. Like, how come nobody can? This kid's too quick. He's like, there's some exciting young players. I'm excited about football. Yeah. I think we have some exciting young talent. I think it's gonna be a fun football season. I really do.
It is. I think it's I had made my prediction. I don't think any team will win 13 games.
I think you might be right.
I'm
Patriots.
I'm changing it. I feel comfortable with the Patriots from seeing their defense because I think they have one of the weakest schedules in the league.
Yeah, we saw that when we were looking at it.
Yeah, and that's why. It's not like I'm saying they are the best team
based on schedule.
But based on schedule, I think they can win 13.
Yeah, I think like if you looked at Packers, go back. Their schedule's so tough. That division is brutal because they got Vikings coming up next. Yeah. The Vikings are really fucking good.
They play them twice.
Did you see what? Oh my God! I know we're like getting in the last minute, but we're talking NFL, and I never get to talk NFL. Did you see what Fitzpatrick did with Tampa Bay? He's so weird because he'll have games where he'll just
what did he go like 15 for 18 or some bullshit?
I don't know if it was that. Oh, I didn't even recognize that. But I saw he had like 418 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Fitzpatrick average of 14 yards
within 2 games. He'll have a 3 interception game though.
But that's him.
That's so crazy about
him. That's what he does, man.
But then he'll have a 2 or 3 game stretch where he's just lighting everybody up, and then he'll just have he'll just drop a turd right in center field or center field. In midfield.
He's only got to do 3 games, right? Isn't that how in Winston out 3 games?
What's that?
In Winston, he's out 3, right? He's suspended 3.
Oh, I don't know.
That's why he's playing.
So he's 4. Oh, but if he's doing this, how do you? Like you got a quarterback controversy. I know.
No. Fitzpatrick, because if Fitzpatrick is good for 3 games, which will work out perfectly.
Oh, because if he takes a dump
game,
on
you put him on the bench.
In. Yeah.
See, and you play him.
But seriously, if he keeps lighting it up.
Yeah. And
Winston's really good.
I'm not sure. I'm out on my opinion on the defense of the Saints right now. I don't know if that was a fluke thing, if that was a weird. I don't know. I got to see them another week. Because that could say a lot about.
How often do the Saints have games like that? They always have games like that.
They always have 1 or 2.
48 40s.
But then they'll come in and
46 to 42s.
Right. But then they'll come in and win fucking 17-3.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I just feel like that's the Saints.
Yeah.
Like I've never felt like their defense. It's been 20 years since they've had a defense that really locked anybody down. You know, I mean, their defense have always, because they've had Drew Brees. Yeah. I think they've been like, bend don't break.
San Diego.
Bend don't break. Yeah.
They're the same team.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I know one's better, whatever, but they're basically the same team.
Yeah.
Just light it up.
Yeah,
who can get to 42 first?
Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a fun season, man. I'm excited. I'm very excited about it.
It's gonna be good. And Brady did not fall off the cliff. Fucking Max on the shows and shit, everybody.
He's something else, man. But Brady is he's a timeless. Again, very special player. We're fortunate. I think. Excuse me. Thinking back, we've been real fortunate to watch a lot of amazing players, at our age. Between, we're talking about Joe Montana. A couple weeks ago.
Marino.
We can go through the 80s to today. We've seen like a really nice chunk of amazing football. amazing football players. It's pretty special.
I don't feel like that existed before that.
Doesn't seem like it.
Kind of like before Montana, it was one or two, and
Terry Bradshaw. Gosh, I can't even. Frank Tarkenton. I mean, you're before my. I never watched these guys. Maybe Terry Bradshaw a minute, but I never really watched these guys. So I don't even know. I just know their names and highlights and what they accomplished.
And your boys Danny White and all that.
Danny White is a guy, but he was actually a really. He does not get enough credit.
No, he was good. But back then,
when's the last time he had a quarterback / punter?
No shit.
Working and he was coaching a little bit too on the field.
Yeah.
When's the last time?
But that's back when it was still not that it's not a team sport now. But it was fully a team effort.
Roger Staubach, pretty incredible player for a while.
But there weren't the volume. We saw some.
Yeah, now you have so much talent playing.
Holy shit!
There's so much talent. Like there's a lot of
Manning, Brady, Favre, Rodgers, Breeze. I didn't want to stop there.
Just go down the list. Just go down the list. Boy, Garoppolo kind of had a rough one.
I'll say this: only one of the 3 interceptions were his fault.
Probably was it just? I didn't see the game. His receivers.
One was a slip route.
Okay.
He was he's coming on a hook and slipped, and then shit.
That happens.
Crap. One down the middle was his fault.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think when you look, I don't think he saw the double coverage come over, and then the other one, which was actually I think the second one, was a little bit of a tip.
Yeah. Well, hey, Vikings,
there's a little tip.
Vikings are good,
and they're still
Vikings,
a top 5
one
defense.
of the best
dude,
defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So.
And he still had almost 300 yards passing.
Yeah.
Still had
he's still. I think he's okay. I just want to poke you a little bit.
Yeah,
I know you love Garoppolo.
I feel the exact same about Garoppolo.
Yeah, no, he's very good. Yeah. I wanted to give you a hard time about it, but yeah, Garoppolo. Some of what I saw, I just saw his numbers were a little down, but then he was playing the Vikings, and week 1 is week 1. So many times you just gotta go. You need to get to 3-4 games before you really see what's happening. Yeah. And guys, like I said, you'll see teams that perform like the Buccaneers put 48 up. Next week they may put 10 up because it's legitimately could very well happen. I don't even know who they're playing next week, but that division is not an easy division. Insane. So
in the it's just week 1 in the NFL and week 1 and 2 in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because college football doesn't have preseason, so you get nothing, right? You get fucking nothing. I mean, A&M almost beat number 2 Clemson.
That's crazy.
I'm just like, we don't need to go all into it, but in a couple of calls that were questionable certainly could have helped the Aggies win that. Yeah. And then you get weird stuff like that happening in the first couple, so it's hard to base anything on anything.
And NFL's the whole conversation with preseason rankings in college football, which I think is ridiculous. You saw Texas save their season with squeaking out over Tulsa. I watched that game.
They were killing them, and they just went, fuck it, I'm on vacation.
What
Where's the barbecue?
And then Tulsa started moving the ball and just they're taking up chunks and scoring.
Right. The fuck is this? Oh, I'm tired of having a shitty team, man.
I don't know what's happening with Texas. I really don't know what to think because they should have no problems recruiting.
They don't. They had another top 5 recruiting class.
Well, how come it's not translating to the field?
They're all freshmen. That's part of it.
I still like this quarterback. I know, and I say Major. He reminds me of Major Applewhite.
Yeah.
That's who I see, and I always was a huge Major Applewhite fan, big Major Applewhite fan. He was not an NFL level quarterback, but man, in college,
good college quarterback,
solid man. You put a team around him with a little bit of talent, solid. And Texas has talent; you can see it.
They do. It's just this is the first year Herman has some of his guys. Okay, last year he had none of his guys.
Herman's getting some heat already. Yeah. You know, Texas don't, man. UT,
they don't play,
well,
man.
You know.
Yeah.
UT, man, their fan base, and it's really not even just the fan base, it's the boosters.
We went
have high
almost 2 decades of like 10-win seasons.
Man, that was so good. But before that
it was shitty
rough.
for a few
years.
It was
rough. It was rough going for a while. And then, when you had Daryl, not Daryl, guy that came in and took over head coaching, he's the athletic director now.
Oh,
my boy. The former head coach. Yeah. I can't believe his name. I always brain fart. But
I just watched a stupid interview too. Anyway,
it's killing me. But when he brought in Vince Young and I see how they're trying to hype up the Texas USC game like the trilogy. I'm like,
no. Well, it's a trilogy. They both
third
are
game.
crap this year. Yeah,
Like, this is not for a championship. It is not a trilogy. I was watching that laughing. I was like, come on. bad. Y'all are trying too hard.
That was still a fun game to watch back then, though.
Man, I bought that DVD.
Did you? No, yeah.
I'm a big UT fan. I've had a few years where I just couldn't even watch college football because of my schedule. I just didn't have time.
Oh, yeah. That's
now, with weekends off and stuff, I actually have a chance to watch some games, a little bit catch the UT games. I can actually watch a little bit so I can get back. I used to be able to, when I used to have enough time, I was watching all college and pros. So, I knew every college player, and I knew, you knew. And it's fun when you can see where guys are at and how good they are and where they're going to end up going.
And start picking them and all that,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's kind of nice to get back to that a little bit. Yeah, but my dad was a huge UT fan. And so I inherited that. Just like he was a huge Cowboys fan, I inherited that.
Yeah, and they'll get better. I'm like, shit. Oh, the other one. I think, this is speculation, I think Josh Allen, at the Jets,
He's playing tonight.
He's starting. I think he's going to have a good year, dude.
Think so? Well, who's the quarterback for the Jets? Tony Romo. I can't think of his name right now. But Tony Romo seems to think that guy's the Sam Darnold. Is that right? Quarterback for the Jets. I think it's Sam Darnold.
Did I mix that up? No, Allen Allen with the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. Okay. I said Jets because I'm thinking of the tonight. Darnold is there. I don't like Darnold.
Well, Tony Romo loves Darnold.
Yeah, I didn't like him at his where I was kind of questionable him coming out when he did. I was like, I don't know. And I watched his pro day, and I was like, oh, the mechanics. It reminded me of Florida's Nealard.
Oh, you're talking about Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow. He reminded me of Tebow's release.
That's not a good sign.
It was just wide and kind of. I didn't like it. Everything super accurate. Don't get me wrong, super accurate, but it just looks slow.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him play, so
I'm gonna say that Darnold
try to catch some of his games.
He's starting tonight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 3 picks, easy 3 picks tonight.
That could happen.
Easy 3.
It could happen. He's a rookie.
Yeah, it's just I just didn't like it, and it's not because he doesn't know or because of any stuff or his accuracy or any of that. It's just that fucking release. That's the death of quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, well, no, it is all about the release. I can't remember who I was watching, and they had a real slow release, and I thought,
toast.
That's not going to last long. Like it is all about the release. Fastest release in the NFL. Who
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
They timed it on.
What about Dan Marino? How fast was his
Oh,
release?
I don't know if they went back that far because I did the.
Dan Marino had lightning quick. Tony Romo had a really fast release too. Tom Brady's got a pretty fast release, doesn't he?
He from snap to pass, he has the shortest time.
That's what it is.
But his actual
that's
release,
Belichick right there. Yeah. That's Belichick's scheme.
But he was.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers
of current quarterbacks. It was Aaron Rodgers was first, and then what's his nuts at the Chargers was second.
Phillip Rivers, yeah.
Phillip Rivers was second.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a weird sidearm motion when he throws the ball.
In the perfect situation, number 3 was Breeze. But then when they put the line, he has to throw over the line.
I think
it slowed.
Breeze has got a slower release.
Well, because he's got to throw over the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to wind up a little bit.
Yeah, but when you don't, he was number 3. The Sports Science or Science, whatever that show was.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Kick ass. I had watched that one, and they broke them all down, and I was like, oh, and you know how they time fucking everything.
Yeah.
And they were doing it from video, not from bringing them into the lab. So it was game situations, game release.
That's a good show.
I
see some. They've done some good stuff with MMA too.
Oh yeah.
It shows striking power, grappling power. Interesting stuff. So, but tonight I'm almost watching Sam Darnold. I heard, look, man, Tony Romo I will always be a Tony Romo fan. I know he had a lot of haters, and I'll stick by the statement that if they had put him back in after he healed up 2 years ago, they're in the Super Bowl. Nobody had commanded that offense like Tony Romo. Nobody did, and that was a Super Bowl team.
I will say this with
Dak
Romo.
Prescott.
I feel like everything with Romo came down after his first serious injury. They rushed him back from peer pressure.
Yeah, he was never quite right.
No, you can't. In that day, I just feel like that.
You're right because he would get hit, and you were like, and you'd see him reach for that back, getting back up, and you're like, oh. But he was a warrior, man. He always went
hung in there,
grinded it out,
and he did great. I mean, he didn't suck by any means, but at least half his interceptions because that fucking back was hurting.
I think half his interceptions because half the time he was on the team, they sucked.
Well,
he was the only good thing they had going. And then they finally got good, and he gets hurt, and then they don't put him back. That was the biggest mistake biggest mistake, and like I like Dak.
Yeah.
I like Dak, but he's not the quarterback Tony Romo was.
No,
he'll
no, he's
never
not.
be.
No,
he'll
no,
never be.
It's a different. Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. He'll last a few years, and then
Yeah.
he'll be gone. But Tony Romo would have gotten him to the Super Bowl, and he was due after the year before that too.
Well, I think a call or two would have got them to the Super Bowl. If you remember all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know that shit. I'm just
We don't even, and after last week too, we don't even know what a catch is anymore.
Oh man, they're bad. They were better overall. They were better. They were better.
What happened with Gronkowski?
He dropped it. It wasn't
He
a catch.
dropped it.
No, he didn't drop it. It was just as they rolled through. Because remember, they came up and snapped within
Real
like
fast.
8 seconds.
Before
they could even hit the buzzer before the refs could hit the buzzer.
That was good on Tom Brady's part.
But he came down. He was rolling. He was going to roll under it. And this hand, you could see was here. And then it continued. It was he wouldn't. That would have been reversed. Yeah. Well, still an amazing attempt at it. You saw that. Yeah.
Texans fans, you were still going to lose that game.
Yeah.
That didn't cost you the game.
No.
Just saying.
Yeah. No one play. Get out. I don't care who you. I mean,
unless it's Dallas Green Bay and Des Bryant catches the ball going into the end zone, which would have won the game.
See, that would have been a catch this season. That sucks. Yeah.
Come on, Dallas. Just mend fences with Dez this week. Bring him back in. All is good. Scott Linehan, you guys have a kumbaya session.
Go to Colorado, smoke a little together.
I'm okay with that.
Hey.
I'm okay with that.
Cheaper than LA, so roll, man.
Nevada, Colorado, Washington. There's a lot of places you guys can go. It's okay. Oklahoma, I think it's medicinally legal.
We could write a script.
You guys got headaches. You guys are giving each other headaches. I'm pretty sure they'll give you a script.
I think
Let's
you
work
can
it out. Smoke a peace pipe.
I need it. Duh. No, awesome. So thank you guys for watching, and dude, we're out, man.
Fantastic. It was fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun. Yeah. Go football. Cha, peace. Okay, hold on. Don't say anything crazy, man.